Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here to talk some Packers this evening. We're going to give you guys the PFF grades, full breakdown of how the Packers played, how well they played, who played well, who didn't in the game there against the Commanders. Little spoiler alert, definitely a much, much higher team grade in this game than the Lions game. How exciting is that when you think about how well they played against the Lions, and they played even better against the Commanders. And what's really cool is as you break down the tape and you dive into it a little bit deeper, I made my second pass through today of every snap. They still left a lot of stuff on the field. So really, really exciting to see the upside of this Green Bay Packers team here in 2025. So we're going to break it down all for you guys and gals this evening. We'll also give you the latest on the Jayden Reed injury. We'll kind of start with that. But before we do, if you would, hit that like button, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We are not media members. We are fans just like you, talking Packers on the daily, breaking down tape, pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis, injury updates, the whole 9 yards. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. Tim, ready to talk some ball this evening, bro?
Oh, I'm ready to go like Ben Johnson, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it together. Here we go. So first things first, let's get the bad news out of the way here, okay? And I don't think this is any surprise to anybody. You know, when we did the post-game show immediately following the Commanders game, I know you guys heard me say, to me, it looked like a collarbone on Jayden Reed. Other people were saying AC joint possibly. That kind of gave me a little bit of hope there. I wasn't sure the difference in the recovery time, but it is confirmed here by Ian Rappaport. Obviously, this was tweeted out yesterday, and I know it was a little bit busy day yesterday. But Packers wide receiver Jayden Reed ruled out tonight with shoulder injury, has suffered a fractured collarbone. Coach Matt LaFleur said he's headed for injured reserve and out for the foreseeable future. They do expect him back this season. And now Ian Rappaport had quote tweeted that, I think, earlier today and said, the hope is that it's a 6 to 8 week injury for Jayden Reed, which would bring him back in November. So
happy Thanksgiving, Packer fans. Let's go.
Right about the time that you get Christian Watson back as well, right, Tim?
Absolutely. And Lord knows the bumps and bruises our team will have by that time in the season, right? We could have other guys banged up. It could be absolute perfect timing to get Scoot and Bird back in the mix right around the same time. So keeping our fingers crossed for Jayden Reed.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think Jayden Reed is kind of the straw that stirs the this offensive scheme's drink, if you will. Anytime you're playing F in Matt LaFleur's offense, you got a lot of that motion and everything. It's so important. So now the question becomes, who's going to step in for Jayden Reed? Are they going to trust Matthew Golden in the slot, move him to the slot? Now you're taking speed away from Z. I don't like that. I honestly think, Tim, what we'll probably see here is a little bit of Wicks in the slot.
Yeah.
And probably Savion Williams, which I'm feeling more and more comfortable with him getting more snaps. So who knows though? Savion may be seen as more of a slot receiver than Tay Wicks. Although I will say Tay Wicks's skill level, Tim, what he's good at, I think it kind of fits the slot. Because if you're going to have these teams that sometimes you'll notice they'll play off the one on the outside on both sides, but on the two, which is typically the F, the slot, you'll notice they'll snug up. I love Tay against press coverage for sure. So, and it seems like he's fixed the hands issue for the most part so far in this early season here.
I was just going to say, I mean, we're 2 games in. I don't think there's a Packer fan alive that thinks that Tay Wicks doesn't already look better than he did last year. So clearly he put the work in during the offseason, you know, despite the calf issue that he was dealing with throughout training camp, kind of cost him some time, but clearly he made an emphasis on the hands, right? And he's been an absolute magnet for the football these first couple of games, honestly. So I would tend to agree with you, Clayton. I think that, you know, right off the top of your head, who are you going to replace in that role? Yeah, I'd probably go with Tay Wicks right out of the bat.
Yeah, Elijah Gwynn in the chat says, has Tay dropped anything yet? thought he's been looking nice to start the year. I don't think he's got a drop yet, to the best of my knowledge.
I think he had one on Thursday, but it was, like I always say, a PBU is a PBU, man. It's not a drop. Good defense is good defense. But I think maybe one, if any. I think Elijah's onto something here. I don't, 1 or 0 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so there you go. There's your Jaden Reed update, obviously, and Jen Rod, I completely agree. She says Wicks and Savion both look good, right? And I completely agree.
Yep.
Wicks is starting to realize got some young whippersnappers on his heels right now, right? And it's looking like you'll probably move on from Romeo Dobbs after this year. At least that's the way it's sitting right now. If that's the case, then you're sorry, Rome, but if that is the case, then you're going to have yourself in a position, if you're Tay Wicks, to kind of fill that void, right? Whether you end up playing boundary X or filling in the slot when people are banged up, that type of thing. I think the long-term goal, obviously, Tim, and maybe it turns into a short-term goal, is that you want Savion and Matthew Golden to take that job from Tay Wicks. So you even got to think about extending him, and you got a veteran on the bench. I think they'll value Tay Wicks over Savion currently, though.
I would too. I would lean on the experience factor. The fact that Tay Wicks is battle tested, incredible rookie year, kind of took a step back last year. This year he seems to be trending upward already, like we just said, 2 games in. I'm going with my experience. I'm going with like you said, the guy that's hungry to keep that spot and to prove that he belongs, right? Another name that comes into mind, not necessarily slot role, but Malik Heath. I mean, he proved to be a dog on Thursday, and we know he's got great hands. So I think that there's enough receiver by committee in this locker room that I don't want to say that, losing Jaden Reed is not significant, because it is, but I'm fully confident between the personnel that we have and the way Matt LaFleur is just, a master of scheming guys open. I think you're right. I think we have our preferences. Like we said, we'd like to see Tay in the slot, before a guy like Matthew Golden, perhaps, because like you said, you're sacrificing some of that speed on the outside. But bottom line, we're going to win ball games. And when we're healthy and we're at full strength, we'll see what happens. But I'm with you, Clay, man. I'd like to see Tay in that role, at least right away here. We got Cleveland and Dallas on the road. The definition of trap games, obviously 2 teams that, based on what we've seen, we should beat the brakes off of. But you never know, right? Any given Sunday. So I think it's all hands on deck, and I think we'll see a lot of guys in places that maybe we're not used to seeing. Like Savion Williams in the Wildcat. We saw that at TCU a little bit. I didn't think we'd be 2 weeks into the season and see it right away. But good old Tupac LaFleur going in the bag and calling one of those plays like we always ask for, right, Clay? Call that when they least expect it. Don't call it on 3rd and 2. Call that joker when they're sleeping and let's get them. And so I think between Matt LaFleur's game plans offensively and the talent that we have, I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, 2-0 for this says, once you light Wicks on fire, that Serenity by Jane candle will continue to burn. So good luck paying for it on your $0 salary, including benefits, babe. Oh, yeah, that's so good. All right, let's jump into it.
I still always remember when she threw the Dundee at that little 13-inch flat screen that he had on the wall.
That's what I was talking about. That's when he said good luck paying for it, because she was unemployed. Oh, man, it's such a good show. That episode is definitely top 3.
Classic.
Yeah. And it looks like for those who care, I know we were having a pre-show chat about this Georgia-Tennessee game. Georgia just scores a touchdown in overtime to win it. I think the 9th straight victory for Kirby Smart at Tennessee, I believe, or maybe not Kirby Smart, but Georgia at Tennessee, I think. So, it's that was a hell of a ball game right there. That was really good. So
for sure, them Bulldogs, man.
Yeah, a lot of future NFL players playing in that game.
A lot of future Packers in that game, right?
Yes, exactly. All right, man, let's get into the PFF report here from the Packers-Commanders game. And you see, guys, against Detroit, our overall grade was a 77.4. With the Commanders game here, 85.9. We had an offensive grade of 82.5, passing grade 84.0. Tip your freaking cap to Jordan Love. Pass blocking grade 70.4 for the Big Hog Mollies. Receiving grade 87.4. Keep in mind too, guys, remind me, Tim, everything was a blur. When did Jaden Reed leave the game? When did he get hurt? Do you remember when he got
It's
hurt?
got to be first. I know it was first half.
That's what I was thinking too.
I think it was second quarter, and it's crazy because it happened like 15 feet away from us, directly in front of us. Yeah, I want to say second quarter, maybe early to mid second quarter. I think it was before half.
Yeah, Respect Orange just said he seems to think it's the first quarter. So, and I say that, listen, it's not the dog read, but just to point out that when you finish with a receiving grade of 87.4 and he went out that early in the game, he definitely went out in the fourth quarter. So he still gives you a lot of hope on this receiving core that, hey, they can put it together. So
absolutely.
Running grade 74.3. You got a run blocking grade of 53.4. Defensive grade 78.1, run defense 65.3. I don't know what the hell they're watching on run defense. To me, Tim, it seems like they got a bunch of knuckleheads that don't understand gap integrity and how the defense is being called to stop the run. Because when you do what this defense has done, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but
that's insane.
As the rushing lines allowed by the Packers, David Montgomery of the Lions, 11 carries, 25 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries, 19 yards. Austin Eckler, 8 carries, 17 yards. Jaden Daniels, 7 carries, 17 yards. Bill Krosky-Merritt, 4 carries, 17 yards.
Yeah. So 4 out of 5 of those are like legit rushing threats. Like arguably top tier rushing threats in the National Football League. And we've blanked them all. And this is how we're graded in the run.
Right. And listen, 65 isn't a bad grade. I don't want to send the wrong impression, but still it's like, what could they have done better? Like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So tackle grade 51.1, pass rush grade of 76.7, coverage grade of 73.5. You love to see that. And then a special teams grade of 64.6. So there's your overall grades. Let's jump into the offensive side of the ball here, Tim. And it was only 5 snaps, but Jaden Reed was having a ball game. 95.6 is what his PFF grade ended up being. Obviously, just 5 snaps. So Malik Heath, man, we just talked about Tay Wicks. We talked about Savion Williams. We didn't even mention Malik Heath. Or I didn't. Maybe you said it while I was looking at the screen.
I brought up my boy Malik. So I've been banging the drum for Malik for a couple of years now. It's my boy.
There's anybody that deserves to get first crack at filling that void, it's him, right? Yeah. I mean, 22 snaps, 91.7 PFF grade, 90.2 grade there in the passing game. Look at the run blocking grade, Tim, 80.9 against Commanders, man.
You stick him in the slot, you're talking literal bully slot. That's what you're going to get out there with him. And honestly, I love that look, especially on a 3rd and 5 or something, third down. Put 18 out there and let him go to work.
Yeah. And as Coach Lynn points out, Heath can step up also, and Hardman.
Oh, great point, Coach Lynn. We're not even talking about McCall. That should be almost an instantaneous activation, I would think, at some point here, right?
Definitely. 2-0 for this says Malik Heath has deserved more snaps, has been ridiculously underappreciated. Completely agree with that, man. So there you go. Malik Heath, 91.7 PFF grade off 22 snaps. Up next, you've got Jordan Love. 86.7 PFF grade. Jordan
Put some spec on J Money's name. Let's go.
Against Detroit, 76.3, and then the 86.7 against Washington. Guys, on the year, Jordan Love's grade is now officially 86.7 on the year is what it's grading out to at the moment. So
here's
Jordan
a guy.
Had a hell of a ball game. Up next, Tucker Kraft, 86.5 on 62 snaps, Tim. And here's the other thing. We were talking about Malik Heath. We're talking about Dontavion Wicks. What if they pressed into 12 personnel? And don't be afraid to flex Tucker Kraft out there in the slot either. You know what I mean? Go a little Y flex and keep the U attached and vice versa. It's another way you can attack this thing.
I agree. I mean, we already saw 13 personnel on Sunday, right? So I don't think Matt's shy or bashful at all about mixing up the personnel groups. You do what you got to do to move the sticks, right? And I mean, where can't you put Tucker Kraft in an offensive formation? He's going to be successful, and this is definitely a breakout year incoming for Tuck Norris. I think after the last couple of years of everyone kind of sleeping on him, I think the NFL is going to be on notice here real soon with who they're dealing with here.
Yeah, for sure. Lakeshore Packer backer says Tucker was on fire. Gronk 2.0. Man, I'm telling you, he looked really, really good. 86.5 in the game there against Washington on the 62 snaps. The week before, 63.9, guys. That's not a bad grade, you know?
Yep.
So on the year 2025 here, as it sits right now, his grade is an 80.0 when it comes to the PFF grades. So already played 106 snaps. I love the fact that he's staying healthy too. I was a little worried, Tim. He kind of got up a little lame in that game. I thought, oh no, what happened to Tucker? I think it might have been exhaustion more than anything, though. Man, you talking about 62 snaps at the tight end position, especially when they're flexing him out wide from time to time.
Yeah, that was just before Bird got hurt, I believe. I remember texting the group chat, like, it's hard to kind of get updates when you're sitting there in the lower bowl sometimes. And yeah, Tuck got rocked. But he's tough as nails. Thank God it was, nothing serious with him. He returned to the game. But I remember asking you guys what's going on with Kraft and Reed. And I remember Jacob replying, Kraft looks okay, Jaden Reed not so much.
Right.
And we kind of all knew that. I think everybody that saw it there happen on the goal line right in front of us was thinking collarbone right away. I won't go into the graphic details, but it was heard and seen by everybody in that section what Bird was dealing with there, and you got to tip your cap to him. What a tough SOB, man, to just get up like that and just off his own power, get off the field, and not make a big deal out of it. You could tell he was in pain, so really wish the best for Bird, but glad that Tucker Kraft, man, that would have been terrible if we lost Tuck Norris and Jaden Reed there early in that game. So glad that they're looking good going forward. At least we'll get Reed back, here before the end of the year. And obviously Tuck Norris is, Iron Man. He's invincible out there. So we'll take it.
2-0 for this says having a primetime game this early put Kraft on the radar. Completely agree, man. Maybe people start putting some spec on that name. Also, someone you need to put some spec on the name. Look at Luke Musgrave, 86.0, Tim.
How about that guy right there?
Absolutely.
No more baby deer, baby.
That's right. Now, week one was a little rough, according to PFF, 51.2, but rebounded with an 86 last week. And now his grade on the year through 2 games, 73.8. You keep that up. Listen, I can handle that. I can have a grade in the 50s, then in the 80s, 50s, 80s, and just kind of try to steady the water a little bit, right, as you move forward in the season. But Luke Musgrave, one of those guys, if he breaks out, you're going to see way more 12 personnel, especially with Jaden Reed out of the lineup right now. So
absolutely.
Really excited to see what he does as the season moves along. Dontavion Wicks, 79.0 for Dontavion Wicks. Week before, Tim, 74.8. So on the year, he's sitting at an 80.9. Guys, we talked about this. Will he return? Will he return to the 2023 year of 77.8? Last year, he had some drops, don't get me wrong, but he still graded out a 65.1.
Yep.
So it looks like he's taking another step here. It's early, but that's a steady grade, Tim. 2 weeks in a row, 74, then a 79. And it seems like he got better jumping up from 22 snaps with Jaden Reed going out to having 37 snaps against Washington.
Absolutely. And I think Tay Wicks might have been one of those names that kind of got lost in the shuffle here with all these receivers that have, been in and out of camp and that are in this receiver room. And clearly he's on a mission, man, because it certainly looks like, we talk about him returning to 2023 numbers. He could exceed those at the rate he's going right now with at least 2 weeks into the season. Obviously it's early. We don't want to get like hyperbolic here and make these big sweeping predictions, but and I'm a big believer. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, especially in this league. But man, ain't nothing like a good start, man. Hit the ground running, right? And definitely Tay Wicks, like I said, looks a hell of a lot better than he did this time last year already.
Yeah. All right, moving along here, we've got Savion Williams, 70.4 on 11 snaps. Now, keep in mind, guys, in the passing game, a 56.1. Doesn't, not great, obviously. The run is what got him the higher grade, a 71.8 there on the end around. Didn't he have an end around and he had a wildcat run? Am I thinking right, Tim? Or was it just the wildcat run?
How many carries are they saying he had?
That's the thing. It doesn't show here in these stats, so we'd have to go pull it. If somebody wants to check that for us, did Savion have a couple of runs, or was it?
He might have. Yeah, he might have. The Wildcat was the one I remember. Which, shout out to Jay Money for selling that like a like a salesman, man. He drew so much attention away from that field side there and let Savion do his thing. But yeah, I think he did. He had an end around and the Wildcat, like 2-0 for this side. Yep.
Respect Orange just said, yeah, he had 2 runs. Corey said the same thing. So there you go. So he did have an end around. So again, man, the running game, that's another person that if you get a little banged up, Savion, listen, they lined it up. I wrote it down in my notes. We went with an 883 pony package. So you had Josh Jacobs as the left back, right, as the 2. And then at the 4, you had our boy Savion Williams. So that's really, really exciting stuff.
We touched on that during our draft coverage too, talking about his experience as a QB. And you could see that right there in that Wildcat look, right? Jordan waved him over. He went under center there, or, pistol, shotgun, whatever that was. You saw him do the leg kick. You have no concerns about snapping the ball directly to Savion Williams. He's not gonna botch a snap. And you also know that he may take a peek across that line and see something that, maybe someone else doesn't, and maybe he cans out of that play, and we get Savion throwing a pass. You never know. But I love Matt's, freedom to just go ahead and call that in that situation. Honestly, it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Deadfish says 2 runs, 24 yards, so averaging 12 yards a pop. And 2-0 for this says Matt was in his darn bag with that Wildcat design and how he had Love coming back for the ball with Tucker pulling. It's huge. If they just keep Love out there, right, that play is not near as effective. That's for darn sure. So we got Jacob joining us now. Jacob, we get a little. Tim, are you hearing that feedback from Jacob's mic, or is that just me?
A little bit. It sounds a little hot.
Yeah.
Not really feedbacking, just a little
Say
hot.
something there, hot Wildcat.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, Limp Biscuit.
That's man, that's a blast from the past. That it sounded echoey. Make sure it's got your mic. You know how it does that sometimes, Jacob.
Yeah, your webcam might be stealing your
that's kind of what it sounded like.
Your Limp Biscuit microphone over there might be taking over.
When your lady friend was over today, I think she might have adjusted some stuff over there on you. So set you up. What's that?
Does this sound okay?
Yeah, there he is.
Crystal clear now.
There's Limp Biscuit.
Bro, I spent the whole
day. You got
day
a better beard than Fred Durst, brother. I promise you.
No doubt.
Brambo, chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water. Let's go.
Hey, what an album, dude. I about said a bad word. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's a blast from the past right there, man. Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock, Eminem.
Yeah.
It was just everything just dropped at once. And I was like, this is what it felt like to grow up in the 70s when there was great music. You know what I mean? It just kind of felt that way. It was awesome. So, yeah, Corey Murphy, 1999 is a wild time. We were all thinking, yeah, the world's going to end as soon as it turns, the year 2000.
You guys remember 99 Woodstock?
Oh,
that was a bit wild.
Yes, just a touch wild. I don't know whose idea it was to bring Woodstock back, but boy, oh boy, that probably got sued a couple times.
It was the same guy that helped do the first one, and I don't think he knew what he was messing with the second time around.
No idea. None whatsoever. All right. Yes. Yeah, don't forget about Will Hung, right? Yeah, William.
Why does everyone keep asking?
Why does everybody keep asking me that?
All right, Rasheed Walker, 69. Speaking of Will Hung, Rasheed Walker, a 69.9 PFF grade on 68 snaps. Look how red Tim's face is.
Oh, my goodness.
He's like, why do I waste my time with these idiots? So Rasheed Walker just continues to be steady, right? I mean, it's not a guy that you look up and go, wow, he's a top 3 tackle, but he is a very good starting caliber left tackle. And the fact that you got him in the 7th round is still wild. Darian Kennard, here we go. 17 snaps, 69.0. Love to see it. Elton Jenkins, 68 snaps at center, obviously played the whole game, 68.3 grade. Josh Jacobs, a 64.7. Romeo Dobbs, 64.6. Not sure what they've seen there. Anthony Belton, 61.9.
Escalade, let's go. I'll take it.
I know we were a little concerned, right, Jacob? And he did have the penalty. Obviously, it was a huge penalty, too. That's what brung the Jaden Reed touchdown back. Luckily, it didn't really factor into the outcome of the game. But, Jacob, what do you think about this, man? It was only 3 snaps against Detroit for Belton, 60.0, kind of throw it out. But against Washington, man, 51 snaps, 61.9. We always talk about it. If you grade out in the 60s as a rookie, usually a pretty good indicator you're going to be a good pro.
Yeah, it's very encouraging. There was some stuff I didn't like watching from Belton, in the preseason, getting a few too many penalties. But the thing is I think I even texted you, Clayton, or maybe the guys in the group chat. I was just like, I love the aggression he plays with. Like is it a little bit uncontrolled at this point? Yeah, but he's a rookie and he's a young rookie and second round draft pick. Like, did I have more? I don't want to say high hopes, more higher hopes for him. Yeah, I still think that he's going to hit those metrics as his career progresses. But for him, if I can back up just a minute, like everybody, myself included, I was very, I don't want to say upset, but concerned with the fact that we had a first rounder and a second rounder from the last 2 years sitting on the bench, right? Well, what happens? By week 2, we got both these guys in the starting rotation because of the fact of either injuries, whatever the case may be. And what a blessing it is to have 2 dudes you can call off the bench that are first and second rounders, where it's like Matt and Goody and all these guys had so much confidence in these guys that they're willing to spend high draft picks on them. And did it necessarily work out perfectly like we thought it would, where they just come in, they kill it in preseason and then they're just immediate starters? No, not necessarily, but the road is hard sometimes. And
yeah,
what Belton did is keep grinding, and now we're looking at 54 snaps in his young career, 66.6 pass blocking, 56.4 run blocking. I'll take that right now.
He's only going to get better the more he gets, right, Jacob?
He's only going to get better the more he does, and the more confidence they instill in him, which means the more playing time that he gets. I'm freaking happy, man. You talk about, we've talked about how deep the wide receiver room is, our running back room, the tight end room, hell, the quarterback room with Malik Willis being the backup. I think that too, we need to understand that offensive line room is pretty freaking deep as well.
We lost the best right tackle in the National Football League,
right?
Injury, and we've got Kennard and Belton here, and we're still rolling. You got to tip your cap to Goody, man, for sure.
Yeah. And if we were to be negative for a second, Jordan Morgan at left guard seemed like he had a rough day. 41.0. Now again,
he's a tackle. He's a tackle, though. That's why.
That's exactly right, Tim. Like that's the thing too, is like you can't pull Rasheed Walker out.
No,
you know what I mean. And they didn't really spend any time at all that I know of trying to play Rasheed Walker at left guard. Now, he was banged up in training camp. I'm referring to training camp, obviously, but I kind of wondered, would Rasheed be better at left guard and let Jordan Morgan play left tackle? Because what we've seen in the preseason, Jordan Morgan was a significantly better left tackle than Rasheed Walker. I think we would all agree. Granted, it was preseason, but I just wonder, man, hopefully we didn't miss an opportunity there to put someone like Rasheed Walker in at left guard, and all of a sudden, hey, this worked. But
I think there's logic to that at least she would probably be a little bit better than JM there in that position. And then maybe more. We saw in the preseason, Morgan looked pretty good in those left tackle reps that he got. And I think that's because he's a pure left tackle. That's what he played at Arizona. That's probably what's natural to him, but
his whole life, right?
Yeah. So, asking him this early in his career to go to left guard, you're going to see the performance slip a little bit. I think anyone would kind of take a step back doing something that's, not natural to them.
What do you think about Jen's question here? She asked, can we swap Walker to right tackle and let Morgan play left tackle?
See, to me, that's a lot tougher there, right? Yeah, if you put Walker at right tackle, to the best of my knowledge, Jim, he's never played right tackle, right? So, and in the famous words of Josh Sitton, if you want to know how difficult it is to switch sides on the offensive line, I ain't going to say that to a lady. It's tough, okay? It's
very the whole tough. Wipe your butt with the other hand.
Yeah.
I said it the other day. I thought I was crazy, but Josh Sitton said it.
That was Josh Sitton that said that, and everybody. They said the media went, okay, it's pretty tough. Yeah, got it. So anyway, I'm more on the side of and you want to kind of leave Zach Tom. Think about Zach Tom at right tackle, and we've always had this conversation of how in the NFL right tackle is just as important as left tackle now, because all these defenses are putting the Aiden Hutchinsons over the right tackle. They're putting the Max Crosbys over the right tackle. They're putting, TJ Watt over the right tackle. And I know those guys move around quite a bit too, but predominantly they're trying to take advantage of a mismatch over right tackle. Well, now you got offenses are starting to plug and play and draft and spend big money on right tackles. Look at Penei Sewell, right? Mm-hmm. It'd been real easy to take Penei Sewell in the draft and go, let's put him at left tackle, but that's his natural position. And I think it's by design, just adjusting with the times that, hey, these defenses are going to start to try to stack over the right tackle. And that's what's beautiful about our defense as we transition into talking defensive PFF grades here, is when you've got multiple pass rushers like a Micah Parsons and a Rashawn Gary, and now you've got a Barron Sorrell who's getting healthy, and you got LVN who's starting to show some flashes. It's an exciting time to know that they can't just say, okay, we're all they're going to do is put their best pass rusher over our right tackle. No, they got a dominant one on the left side too. So it's absolutely awesome. Micah Parsons leading the way here against the Commanders, 91.3 grade with a 90.6 pass rush grade. That dude is a dog. It goes without saying. Let's just look real quick at the first 2 games of the season here. Week 1, 66.0, and then week 2, 91.3. Pass rush grade, though, in week 1, 73.9. Pass rush grade this week, a 90.6.
All of those are higher than
65%.
65%. That's what that is correct, sir. So, again, his career PFF grades, guys, starting in 2021. 89.7, 91.8, 92.4, 90.0, and now this year, albeit just 2 games, 77 snaps, 89.8. Seems right on par with what his career average has been. What do you guys think about Micah so far?
I mean, what Toll for this says, he's still on a snap count. Bro's still probably absorbing the playbook. Guy's still probably getting his stuff unpacked. You know what I mean? Like, this guy hasn't even settled into this community yet. I don't know, Tim. Routing on the wall right now looks pretty darn good. Even on that first week,
good.
Pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rashawn touched on it in one of his post games the other night. Like we kind of alluded to also. How are you going to double both of these guys, right? And then how are you going to deal with the interior on this defensive line as well? We saw Micah getting held, double team, triple team, face masked, strangled, all of these things, and he's still getting pressured to the quarterback. So, I think we've only scratched the surface as far as what we're going to see for his output this year. And once he's fully acclimated, and really once I think Coach Hafley and the boys are fully acclimated with how they want to deploy him, since he's so versatile, I think we're really going to see him hit his stride here, probably, in the second to third quarter of the season here going forward down the stretch.
Yeah, for sure. Biz 1987 in the chat says, missed you guys covering Skip's meltdown. Maybe he wasn't as good with the Cowboys because he didn't have the supporting cast the Packers had. That's a great point, Biz. It's a great point. Everybody's talking about the Micah Parsons effect for Rashawn Gary. And those same Rashawn Gary haters are not saying a damn thing about how about the Rashawn Gary effect for Micah Parsons.
For Micah Parsons, yep.
And again, Micah's produced in Dallas, don't get me wrong, but the buzz around this now, they had 3 guys blocking Micah on one play. That was hilarious. And he still got through.
Can we talk about the effect it's had on LVN and how much of a freak LVN looks like against the run now, because, he doesn't have so much of a demand for pass rush. Yep. It takes some of that pressure off when you've got, Micah and Rashawn out there wrecking shop.
Definitely. All right. So again, Micah Parsons balling out there against the Commanders. Number 2 on the list. Boy, oh boy. With 69 snaps, you've got Keyshawn Nixon, 90.7 PFF grade with a coverage grade of 90.8. Going to throw you guys some stats out here real quick, too, from the 33rd team's Twitter account. Packers cornerback Keyshawn Nixon as the nearest defender in coverage in week 2. 6 targets, 1 catch allowed, only allowed 9 yards, had 5 pass breakups, a 39.6 rating when targeted, and a 1.0 yard of average separation from targeted receivers. Boys, Keyshawn Nixon said he was CB1. I rolled my eyes. I'm like, all right, bub, I'm from Kentucky. You're going to have to show me. He's showing my ass right now. Keyshawn Nixon he's not showing my ass. He's showing me. He's looking like the real deal. You know what I'm saying, Jake? I didn't want you to take that the wrong way, Jacob. So we have to go back to Key, though, man. This is awesome.
They call him K9 because he's a dog. We know that.
I like what Drill Lee says here. Let's go Key. Lock them up, right? Lock them down. What do you think, Jake? Keyshawn Nixon, man, looking pretty good. 66.9 and then a 90.7 against the Commanders.
Yeah, what's interesting is when we signed Micah Parsons, I can't remember if it was NFL Network or Fox or one of the big organizations, but out like, here's your schematic of the Packers defense. And it was like Edge, Gary, obviously Parsons, Devontae Wyatt. And then I remember they had Keyshawn there. And we were like, oh, okay, Keyshawn got on the little schematic there. That looks pretty good. And everybody kind of went, well, but is he really that good? I myself, I went up and down with Keyshawn. The guy is an absolute he's a dog, like Tim said, but he's always thought of himself as a dog, whereas others maybe didn't quite give him the bona fides, the credit that he was due. A lot of times, I think rightfully so, because we wanted to see, well, show us what you can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is he doing now? That game right there, that's a show me. The 90.7. I mean, the tackling grade still, like I talked about many times, how I love the fact that he's willing to throw his head down, really make a hard tackle. That five PBUs. I think I listened to Ryan's podcast this morning. I don't know if a wide receiver. I can't remember the last time a cornerback had a game where they had 5 PBUs. They were thrown at, like, what was it, like 9 times or something like that, 1 yard or whatever the hell he got. Like, that is all-star, that is all-pro type football right there. Yeah. Now, it's one game, right? But even if you look at last week against Detroit, I'll take a 66-9 if that's
that was an improvement over last year already.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that. And for him, just I don't want to say that he's the veteran of that group, but I think he kind of is, he's probably the elder there in that cornerback room, almost on the defense in general, which is crazy to think about. And, he is going to be a massive catalyst. If he can keep this up, I'm not saying he's going to do a 90 every year or every week, right? But if he can be in anywhere from 66 to 90, if he fluctuates and he just consistently is in the 70s, 80s, whatever it may be, bro, we got ourselves a dog. Like Tim said, an absolute canine.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the coverage snaps. If you look at the season grades, I mean, compared to where he started with Vegas, and ever since he hit the ground running here in Green Bay, and he's continued to progress. Honestly, really, it seems like each year, I think he's finally hitting his stride right now. And one of the things is you're seeing with that veteran presence and that experience is the fact that he can be a physical, aggressive corner. How many flags did you see them throw on Keyshawn on Thursday?
Right.
You know what I mean? He was playing physical, clean, good football. And that's what you need, man.
And what's crazy too is, you remember, if you one of the ones that he had that late PBU, the wide receiver basically hip checked him as he did a little wide receiver out route, to the point where I was like, how do you not throw that flag? He didn't sit there and complain. He didn't moan, this and that. He got on his horse and absolutely went on a laser beam, came up, grabbed the guy from the back end, punched the ball out, ripped it out. And I was just like, oh, okay.
You got to love that, right? You got to love that in a corner that's not turning around crying, looking for a flag,
Yeah. And, look for the flag. That's true. But do it after, like what he just did. Yeah. Run the play down, rip the ball out, look back at the ref and say, are you serious, bro? You just made me do all this? You serious? Like,
the other thing too with this that I want to point out, guys, I mean, you look at the PFF grades, starting in 2021, a 77, but there was only 81 snaps. He jumps to 290 snaps in the slot, mind you, right? 61.2. That's not a bad grade, not great, but it's not a bad grade. 2023 in the slot, 60.0. So you kind of see the baseline in their slot. Last year, he jumps to a 64.1, and you'll remember in the back half of the season, he actually played outside. Now he got a full offseason working as an outside corner, and you're seeing it, 85.2. He's an outside corner. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I was when we signed Keyshawn. Oh, no, the tape suggests he's more of an outside corner. We tried it last year, and I was like, dang, he looks more comfortable outside. It's like he can play more aggressive with inside leverage, knowing he's got that out of bounds to work, just like on the out route, which was a phenomenal play. The fact that he recovered and punched that ball out, I mean, that's something you can have fluid hips, you can have great foot speed and agility and quickness and all those things. And it's important. It's vital for being a good corner. But if you don't have the ball skills and just the situational awareness, the reactionary time to be able to punch balls out like that, you're missing on a key part of playing cornerback at the NFL level, for sure.
Absolutely.
I think we should not forget that Micah Parsons, in one of his first interviews in Green Bay, he goes, I've never once in my career not had either an All-Pro or a Pro Bowl cornerback. Well, look what's happening right now, guys. All of a sudden,
might have 2 or 3 on this roster.
I'm just saying, bro. Carrington looks like a dog. Keyshawn, dog. Nate Hobbs, dog.
Yep.
I think he said, Jacob, too, in that presser, he's like, these boys about to get paid.
Yep.
Like,
I'm gonna get these guys some money, is what he said. Yeah.
That's right.
Make them some money. So up next on the list is one of those guys that'll probably get paid in a couple of years. Carrington Valentine. You guys know this was my boy in the offseason. We talked about him over and over and over. There were many fans that were just scared to death that we didn't do anything in this corner room. Carrington Valentine, 42 snaps, 79.1 with a 79.7 coverage grading. Can we just respect the fact a 75.4 tackle grade as well? When you look at it on the season, last week, 72.6. This week, 79.1. His PFF grade so far, 79.3. Look at the progression. His rookie year, he played 846 snaps, 57.5. He played 606 snaps last year. He jumps from a 57 to a 65. And now this year, 109 snaps in, 79.3 with an 82 coverage grade.
It'd be fun to compare CV side by side to the first round and second round and third round CVs from the 23 draft, and maybe just look at some numbers, because he's playing like a first or second rounder, man, right now, and you got to love it.
Completely agree, man. That would be a fun little case study there. So Carrington Valentine lighting it up here early in the year. Isaiah McDuffie only 7 snaps, 77.8 though, so did his part. Kingsley Enagbare, pretty good game, guys. 72.7 on 20 snaps. Our boy Baron Sorrell, 8 snaps. He ended up with a half a sack.
Yes.
And had a 71.5 PFF grade.
Let's get them snap counts up.
Yeah.
Let's keep them coming up here.
What you're going to see, too, is in the offseason, I firmly believe Kingsley Enagbare will test the market. If he gets anything other than a minimum contract, which I think the Green Bay would be willing to give, he's going to leave, and Baron Sorrell is just going to slide right into his role, And you're talking about great depth at the edge position for sure. Nate Hobbs, 71.3 on 32 snaps. That's what you want to see out of your free agent.
Yeah, not bad coming off a knee surgery, right?
Yeah, and that tackle grade, again, that's what he does well, 77.1, but the coverage grade, 71.5. Nate Hobbs looked pretty good in the debut. What did y'all think about Nate Hobbs, just on the surface? Because I'm going to be honest, just watching the TV version, right, the TV broadcast, after the game, I didn't come away going, man, Nate Hobbs looked good. I did, but after you go back and watch it the second or third time, you're going, I didn't see him getting beat much. And then PFF kind of agrees,
To me, he looked like a guy that was, playing a NFL game speed game for the first time in a long time is what it looked like to me. There were times that he did look really good, and there were times when he was finding his footing, or maybe, he got his hips turned or something. I mean, it happens. There's going to be a little bit of rust, especially coming off of, rehab and things like that. And, don't forget this guy saw absolutely no action in the preseason, so he didn't even really get a chance to kind of warm up or ease his way into it. So for a guy, 30 plus snaps thrown into the fire right away, I think that's a pretty fair grade. But I think it's also fair to say what you said, Clay. It's not like he, just jumped off the film or anything like that. But sometimes that's what you got to do as a corner, right? The fact that they're not calling your name is usually a good sign if you're a DB.
Great point.
Yeah.
Up next on the list here, you got something, Jacob? You want to hit on or no?
No, I agree exactly what Tim said. It's kind of what Tool for this says. Only hearing Hobbs' name once was impressive. I also listened to Ryan this morning. He's talking about, he goes, I didn't even realize Nate Hobbs was playing until like in the third quarter, and then like Hobbs is out there, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like you said, what a great. Other than Banks, and I don't think that it's very early to just say that we know what's going to happen with Banks or everything like this, but Nate Hobbs is looking like another freaking awesome goodie sign that comes in here. And like Tim said, the guy's looking this good after having a knee surgery. Yep. I mean, let's go, bro.
I think we can finally tell all those Goody doesn't make moves in free agency guys. We can tell them all to shut the hell up at this.
Other than the 10 major ones that we can list.
Exactly. Right. Other than like look at the roster right now. Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think honestly, when those signings are made and people complain, the first thing they do is they go to Madden and they go, well, he's a 68 overall or he's a 72 overall. That's a bad signing. Like, put the sticks down, bro. Put the sticks down.
Sit your butt outside.
2-0 for this makes a great point. These guys were defending against McLaurin and Debo. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, man. And Jaden Daniels, one of the great up and coming quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
Was who they were going up
I think
against.
That was the big shocker when we looked at the team grades for the run, right? It's like, Did you see what we did to Jaden Daniels? I think Daniels maybe wiggled out once, picked up a few yards.
He had 17 yards. Everybody had 17 yards rushing for them.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah. Matthias in the chat says Wyatt is a beast. The athleticism at his position is absolutely wild. Like Joe said here, Wyatt should not be moving that fast at his size. He chased down Daniels. He's a dog, man. Devontae Wyatt, 51 snaps, 68.3
Let's
BFF
go,
grade.
Heavy D. Let's go.
Pass rush grade of 79.0. Now, look, last week against Detroit, even better, 78.7. This week is 68.3. His grade on the year, a 76.2 with 100 snaps even.
And
so
almost intercepted a spike.
Dude, he was so close.
Favorite play of the game, man, was him just laying out. Did you see the
Would
way
that have been the first time in NFL history that
Oh yeah,
would have picked that off? Oh my goodness!
The way the center too, they just all looked at him like, "What the hell is he? What was that?" Who thinks of
I just
that?
love the way that Devontae lined up there. I mean, he looked like he was almost fully prone, like he looked like he was crawling on the ground already. That was amazing.
We need to get a screen grab of that, don't we? Of him just full extension.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bud?
You know,
awesome.
It's crazy to think about. I saw a lot of people in the chat talking to, like, you know, I didn't realize, for instance, Jason, I just put up, he says, Wyatt seemed overhyped, but to me, these last two games have blown me away. We forget, I think it was Ryan's podcast this morning again that said when the NFL Combine, if you guys remember, was taking place, he was so fast.
Mm-hmm.
They said, dude, go work out the linebackers. You're literally ruining our drills. Like, we can't, like, you're blowing up our drills. We don't want you here. Go to linebackers. That's a full blown D tackle, 6'3", 304, running so fast that he's like, you were literally messing our drills up. Can you go with another position group? Like, remember that.
Yep, for sure, man. It's huge. And again, it looks like on the season so far, he's already got 2 sacks, 2 hits, 7 hurries, and 2 batted passes. That's huge, man. So, Pivot in the chat says DeMarcus Covington, a big upgrade from Rebrovich. Yes. And listen, I like Coach Reb. I wasn't one that kind of, we need to make a change there. But Covington's on a different level. There's no doubt about it.
Covington's amazing.
Hey, we talked about that might very well be the insurance policy for, you know, Jeff Hafley getting the head coaching job here. Maybe DeMarcus Covington becomes your new DC.
You know, as we're sitting here looking at PFF grades, is it crazy to me that there's not like a measure or a metric of, because it'd be hard to do, like, but if you could have a PFF grade or some sort of metric of coach, you know what I mean? Coaches,
right,
like how do you grade that? How do you look at it? It's so subjective, right? But like, I'm telling you, man, DeMarcus Covington is amazing.
Tell you how I would do it, Jacob. I would go based off of salary and where they were drafted. And the higher the draft pick, like, you know, the first, second rounders, you don't get as many coach points if they do well. And if you've got, you know,
that's
someone,
a good point.
You know, that might be a better way to do it. Just combine, have a grade. All right, where do they rank with a combination of how much they're against the cap, you know, their salary hit, as well as their draft positioning compared to their PFF grade. I'm sure some nerd could come up with some kind of metric there. So,
cool.
A nerd in a good way, by the way. I don't mean that offensive. I mean, people. When I say nerd, I'm talking about people who are way smarter than me as well. That's all that means. So Evan Williams, right? Week 1, 90.5. Week 2, 68.0 with a run defense grade of 76.5. When you start to look at how good this run defense has been, and we talked about all the running backs that they've kept in check, along with Jaden Daniels, who's a great scrambling quarterback, you start to look for, all right, who are the guys that are making the real difference here? I think it goes without saying Evan Williams is making a difference in that run fit. But on the year, granted, only 2 games, 84.4. So now when you look at this young career, last year, 72.3, and right now he's an 84.4. We got a dog at safety. And when McKinney leaves, whether it's in 3 years or it's in 6 years, imagine how much better Evan Williams is going to be having played under him, right, and learn from Xavier McKinney. He's going to be able to step right into that role, that void that's going to be created from McKinney leaving, whether when age catches up with him or if we decide, hey, we're going to move on from the contract.
Hey, and he's got big Leroy Butler, you know, taking him under his wing as well.
Yes.
Shout out to Leroy rocking the Evan Williams jersey on the field on Thursday. That was awesome. But yeah, man, we were excited. I'll never forget that draft stream that when we announced that Evan Williams pick. Guy that I think a lot of us had on our radar, maybe not super high up on our boards, but man, am I glad Goody knocked that one out of the park, because he
crushed it.
I mean, Tim, do you remember that was the draft that single-handedly turned around the safety room? We went with my boy Javon Bullard, who, by the way,
Yeah.
maybe we'll
Speaking
get there.
of great against the run,
Absolutely
how about
love
that
guy.
Bulldog Bullard?
But remember, also we went Catan, and
Yep.
then we had. Let's just get some Evan Williams. We'll just bring him in as well. Maybe. Just amazing.
Next on the list, Kobe Wooden, 64.8, Quay Walker, 64.3, Javon Bullard graded out with a 61.0, which is crazy because you guys just got through saying it. You watch him in the run game, and it's like he seems like he's a great run defender.
39.9 grade. Come on, guys.
Come on.
PFF said 39 run fit and then tackle grade of 30.1.
I think Bullard's dating
literally what Javon Bullard does is tackle the hell out of people.
Yeah, I think Bullard's dating somebody's ex at PFF. I think that's what it is. Do you guys remember though? I think Ryan brought it up too. My favorite play of the game may have been when Parsons is shot out of a freaking cannon. Daniels pulls off left trying to run. He's looking back constantly at Parsons because he's closing on him. Dun, dun, dun. And then when he turns back around, who's there in front of him? Bullard takes his freaking knees out. He does a front flip onto the ground. And it's like,
oh, I remember that. That was a brilliant tackle in the open field, man.
Absolutely.
That was a 10 or 20-yard gain waiting to happen until Bullard made a play.
Yeah, sure. All right. So there you go. There's your defensive PFF grades. Anything else y'all want to hit on that list before we get ready to wrap up here, gents? Anything at all?
There were some people that were asking about Xavier McKinney. This is another one I don't agree with. I don't agree with that these grades for him. I feel like he has been steady Eddie as usual. I don't know what PFF's got against him necessarily with what he's done, but to me, he's been amazing. I don't care what the grades say. He's been amazing.
It's frustrating because again, there's no context. It's no, hey, here's why we gave him this grade, right? Like, why did we give him a 54.3 coverage grade? Okay, these three specific snaps really dinged his grade. It's third quarter, 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Here's what happened. They won't take the time to do that, which does kind of make you just roll your eyes and move on. Because I'm with you. You don't see him get beat,
Yeah, and seeing that game, we just talked about Evan Williams and Bullard. I mean, you're going to make your younger guys better just by having a guy like X that you can trust not to screw up out there. Right. And, you've got him holding middle field closed by himself, or you've got him as your deep option, allowing Williams to buzz down in the box, allowing Bullard to play aggressive in the slot, because you don't have a liability over there with X. So, maybe the grades or the numbers don't jump off the charts or whatever. But, again, the only stat that matters is the win and loss column. And, X is a guy that's going to help you get that dub.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So there you go. As Coach Lynn says, nobody is throwing at X this year so far. I don't blame him, man. If you value your job, don't throw it over there. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
The X effect. All right, guys, you got anything else? I'm going to wrap this up. I got family just got downstairs, so we're going to go hang out for a little bit. We're going to turn on some college football. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish are winning 14-7 over that number 16 Texas A&M team. You got Ole Miss and Arkansas tied up at 21 there in the second quarter. And Florida is leading LSU in Death Valley. LSU's the number 3 team in the country. Florida's 1-1, right? Florida beating them 3-0, and there was already a pregame fight on the sideline, a little scuffle. So if you want a high energy game, and definitely tune into that Florida LSU game. So anything else, boys? We good?
No, just the last thing I'll say is we sit here and talk about grades and all that. Like Ron Sanville brings up a great point. PFF grades him in the 50s when Hafley literally said that was the best game I've ever seen Xavier play. And when Jeff Hafley says something, listen, because he's not fluffing you. He's telling you the truth. I was absolutely over the moon with how Xavier had played. So that grade don't mean nothing to me. He's still an absolute dog. So I hope he isn't watching the PFF grades himself.
Definitely. All right. That's it, guys. Listen, I put a poll question out there. I'd asked, hey, would you guys want us to do a Bears Lions watch party tomorrow? And I put it out there. I don't know if I'm gonna be available. I'm just throwing the idea out to see how many people are like, yeah, I'd watch it. I definitely watch it. And I don't want to get in here. There's 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something that we get a large crowd, we might be willing to do it. Jacob, I don't know if you're available tomorrow, and I haven't decided myself yet. But if you are, we could hop in here and do it. It's a long time, man. You're talking about a 3-hour stream,
I mean, honestly, it'd be fun. I love laughing at people. So
Get ready to go.
It might be something too that if the game's close or something dramatic happened, like Caleb Williams, broke a fingernail or something, we could maybe we could jump in at halftime and talk about it a little bit. But maybe we'll just stay fluid with that. We may do that. Coach Lynn said he'd jump in here. So I know, Tim, you got way more important stuff to do tomorrow than hang in here with us. But we may do that. So Jacob, just stay flexible tomorrow. Not flexible like at the club, but flexible with your schedule. So.
Both ways, I will be there for you, Clayton.
I appreciate it, man. I know you will. All right, guys, that's it. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Do us a big favor, okay? Hit like, hit subscribe. If this was your first time tuning into PTA, thank you for making us a part of your evening. Make sure you click subscribe and that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. We'll definitely be doing a show tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, but we might be doing a little live watch party during the Lions-Bears game. So just check back on the channel, and you may see a stream fly up. So really, really appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack.
Here we go. We're out.
Bye, guys.